We are back, man. Another beautiful day at the Waterboyz Show. Another great time to hang out with all the lovely people, hanging out with my partner B-Rich over here, man. We have a special guest today. But before we do that, we got to do a little house business like we always talk about. Make sure you give us that digital currency that we speak about, man. That's just showing us some love. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Tell them to tell 10 more friends. And after that, tell 50 more of them guys or those females about the Waterboyz Show. If you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating. Make sure you leave us some comments. That helps our show. It helps our visibility. And it helps more people find us as we talk about these blood pressure birds and all things Atlanta. You know what I mean? So, like, please give us that help. And after you do that, scroll on over to 285clothing.com. That's 285clothing.com. And you can support all things Waterboyz Show, Waterboyz Show merch. We got the Blood Pressure Birds merch. We also had that brand new Shut Up or Move, Sincerely Atlanta, for all those folks who moved to Atlanta but got something to say. Hey, man, either shut it up or kick rocks and get on up out the city. That's 285clothing.com. Shop with us. Show us some love, man. What's up with you, B?
Man, I'm upset.
What you upset about?
I'm pissed off.
What you pissed off
I'm waiting for our guest, man, and I'm scrolling, and I see text messages that I had from last night because I went to bed about, 12. They hit me up. And then,
Who hit you?
Just friends, people I know.
Okay.
Where we from?
From Atlanta.
We from the city of Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. And last night, they had an ATL party for the movie. And my partner, our manager, he calls me for everything to go with him. And he don't call me for that.
You really did.
And he was there. Confirmed. How in the hell I don't get to go to an ATL movie anniversary? That's crazy to me.
But let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. How didn't you know about it? Because I knew about it.
Bro, he tell me about everything.
You gotta be in the know in the city, B. What's happening, man?
That's what managers are. That's what managers are supposed to do.
You done got old on us, B.
I can't believe I didn't get invited to the ATL
I
premiere.
knew about it.
Why you ain't tell me?
Cause I had to work. I wasn't going.
But you would have gone though, right?
Yeah, if I didn't have to work, yeah, I would try to go.
That right there, it really irks me. I'm mad. Don't say nothing.
That's how we
mute his mic. Let's go.
That's how we started the show.
No, I didn't. At all.
Oh Lord.
It's sad.
And then we had a rooftop event last week. He said we were gonna go. I ain't hear from him. Cause we hung out the night before. I guess he just said, you know what? He couldn't hang out with me because you know why? Because I be on him. Let's go.
You from Atlanta?
Let's go.
Hey man.
You might want to start following some Atlanta.
Hey man. Please mute his mic. I'm not talking to you. Please mute. I can't even look at him. I'm mad. Let's go, man.
Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey man, cut his mic. Cut his mic, man.
So what, you gonna go and skate?
Yeah, I was gonna skate backwards.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right, man. Look, let's skate on away from that discussion. All right, man. And let's get to the reason we here, man. Like, it's always a good time to talk about all things Atlanta, man. All things the dirty South, man. All things that's goody. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we mobbing through the city. Now, I don't know if people catching up on where we going. You know what I'm saying? But you already know we bring legends to the table and friends of the show. So I'm telling you, man, we got one of the 4 members of the great Goodie Mob in the building with us today. One of Dungeon Family's own, one of Atlanta's royalties. Hey, man, somebody who I have nothing but love and respect for. That I figure when we see each other, we cool, we can be friends, but I have to let him know I'm also a fan of his first and a fan of all the things that he accomplished and really proud of the things that him and his partners and his brothers went out and accomplished. And I'm excited to have him in the building today, man. So, look, without any further ado and without B-Rich complaining about not getting his invite, we're going to invite all y'all listeners to tune in and listen right now. We have the great T-Mo Goody in the building.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What's happening? What's happening, fellas?
What's
Hey,
up, bro?
man.
Good to be a part of the show, man.
Same here, man. So, look, I do have to say it, like, and I truly mean that, man. Like, before I ever even met you in person, man, I truly was a Dungeon Family and a Goodie Mob fan. I truly was a fan of yours, truly was a fan of Cujo, Gip, CeeLo. I still say to this day, Soul Food is one of my favorite hip-hop albums of all time. No lie, no BS, man. So I appreciate you sitting down. And I just had to tell you why we here on this show. that God gave us the opportunity to create, man. Just thank you, dog, because y'all gave me a lot of great music to listen to, and I'm not too old or too proud to let someone know what they did that influenced my life in a way. And so, man, thank you, man, for what y'all did with the Goodie Mob, man.
Man, thank you for listening, bro. You know what I mean? Because at the time, bro, I was a student at Morris Brown College, and we were around a melting pot of kids, man. I mean, we got kids from Detroit, from L.A., from New York. And believe it or not, even with Atlanta being the home city of Morris Brown and it being an HBCU in Atlanta, it was more students that were from other places that were from Atlanta. So we were pushed into representing for Atlanta just by being in that environment with others from other places, always talking about how country we were and how country Atlanta was. Like you just said, if you don't like where we stay,
fly away,
take
man.
wings, take flight.
Go ahead, get on up out of here,
man. So it really just pushed up me. At the time, we saw Criss Cross. They were representing, but they really weren't really representing Atlanta. They were from Atlanta, but they weren't hollering about Atlanta in their music, which was okay. They were kids, you know, being groomed by the great Jermaine Dupri. You know what I'm saying?
Who was another kid at the time.
Who was another kid at the time. But at that time, man, my vision was for somebody to stand up for Atlanta. They had New York representing. They had the West Coast representing. They had Scarface and the Ghetto Boys representing Texas. But they ain't had nobody that was really representing from a commercial standpoint Atlanta hip-hop. And that was my vision, bro, on everything I ever loved, bro. And it's happening so great right now. Back then, you could count no more than 10 fingers worth of Atlanta rappers. Now it's 10 Atlanta rappers on every street corner. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing, bro. And I'm glad we were able to spark the initiative, man, and keep the movement moving forward, bro. With all the kids we got out there doing it right now, I love it. I love to see it and glad to still be here to receive flowers from brothers like you and from brothers all around the industry that show love, man, from the T.I.s to the Gucci's to the Jeezys. Whenever we see them, it's always love, man. And I just appreciate to see them, you know, carry the torch.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
man, T-Mo, I appreciate you coming by, man. The Organized Noise, the whole family was the soundtrack to my college career, my college life, my college lifestyle, man. You guys, I used to have a BMW, man, 320, man. I had fixed up. I had put a lot of boom in the back, man. I had the speakers blasting as amps. And I used to always, man, bump the Goodie, man. Like you said, Soul Food was one of my favorite albums as well.
Yes, sir.
And I was proud to be down in Albany, Georgia, repping Atlanta, repping Goodie Mob, Dungeon Family. And as you know, I knew Jack Bonner, and Jack Bonner lived next door to Gip. Yeah. And I got a chance to get some of y'all music. And, like, y'all used to be mad at Jack because he would be out here bootlegging the early the early ones. So I was one of the ones that had the early songs riding around Albany. Everybody like, who is that? So, man, I really, like, excited that you here getting into this Atlanta culture, sports, and everything. And, you know, you say you know a little bit about sports. I heard you talking about you play some golf. So tell us about the golfing, man, and what you got going on.
Man, I got into golfing doing business with some guys that were based out of Birmingham. I would always talk to them, and every time I would call them and try to close deals and do things with them, they would always be whispering. I'm like, you know, what's wrong? Hey, I'm gonna call you right back, man. I'm on the golf course. So I kind of just kept wondering what was this about the golf course? What is this about the golf course? So at the time I was married, my father-in-law had some golf clubs. And he said, you know what, Terrence, I'm gonna give you these golf clubs. I said, thank you. And what really sparked my whole movement with the whole golf thing I got going on, I was at Lookout Mountain with my family. And I was talking to my son about getting ready for football. I said, boy, you know, he was 5 years old. We was just getting him in. I just bought him a helmet, 2 helmets, 2 pairs of shoulder pads, practicing the game. I had him ready. So he was like, okay, Dad. I said, now when we get back, we got to lock in and focus, man. You got to start working. A guy overheard me and said, you got him playing golf? I mean, you got him playing football? You ought to get him some golf clubs. He'll be a millionaire faster if he plays golf than he plays football. So I'm like thinking to myself, what? He said, yeah. I said, how is that? He said, well, in golf, you don't even have to come in first place to win money. So I didn't think about it like that. He said, man, hell, he can come in 20th place and make $80,000, $90,000. I'm like, really? So I heard him, But it didn't stop me from the football thing with my son and all that. But I just kept thinking about it. So I bought him some clubs. I said, man, let's go to the range. And we just started going to the range, practicing. Then I started playing. And when I say golf is such an addictive sport for a true athlete, because you get to play against yourself in the course. That's the only game, only sport that I can say that you can truly play against yourself to get better. You watching your own scores. You playing against the course to try to part a course. So you don't need a team worth of people to get something accomplished. All you need is a set of clubs and focus and drive and determination. And it's an integrity sport too. I mean, anybody can go out there and strike a scorecard and say they shot a 65 or 62, a low score, but it's the integrity within yourself. It's what you do when people not looking, what you put on that scorecard that's going to really make your handicap go up or down. And you going to know within your heart, am I a real true person or I'm a faker? You know what I mean? So I'm a true person inside. So this game speaks of who I am, to the world. That's why I really embrace the culture of golf, and I love it so much, man. I play almost every day, bro.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. When you think about sport, I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back to music a little bit, because when I hear the stories, and with us coming from music myself, I know how it was with me and my partners, right? So when I hear the stories about y'all being over there at the dungeon and trying to come up with verses, I'm sure there had to be a little bit of a sporting element to it. Like, man, who gonna come with the best verse? You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a Dungeon Family song, whether it's a Goodie Mob song, whether it was when you and Cujo had the Lumberjacks, where it's like, no matter what the situation was, it's a sport when you putting rhymes together, man, trying to make sure your verse stands up to the test and can be the best. You know what I mean? So, like, man, how was that? How were those times in the dungeon, working on the Soul Food album, working on, even before that, working on Outkast album, and just the sport of making sure that, everyone brought their best to the table?
Man, that it was. It was a true sport, and at that particular time, Rico and the Dungeon and the Organized Noise crew had rented out Curtis Mayfield's old home over in Southwest Atlanta. So it was a vibe in that studio. Just to be somewhere where Curtis Mayfield laid his head and worked in the studio, it meant a lot, man. And we wanted to try to set a standard for music coming out of Atlanta, because we wanted to seem like we wanted to not follow in Outkast's footsteps, and which wasn't bad footsteps to follow, but we wanted to create our own lane with music. And by us being from the Bible Belt and being from tutelage up under Minister Louis Farrakhan to MLK to all kind of great black leaders that came from the South, we wanted to try to make our people proud with what we talked about on our music. So we just didn't want to come with what people expected, and that's from the South was booty shake music at that particular time. We wanted to try to give the music some type of enlightenment to the people. We wanted the people to kind of learn something from what we saying, at the same time make you dance and attract people that love music, love hip hop music. So it definitely was a sport. We would be in there freestyling all night long. The first humble beginnings of Goodie Mob in that studio, man, we got songs that were probably 8 minutes long. It wasn't gonna make the radio, but like you say, it was a battleground. So we'll be in there recording records all night long, just rapping, because we didn't have, one thing the Goodie Mob didn't have is that the younger kids have is a blueprint. We didn't have nobody to look at. We had Success in Effect, we had Kilo, we had Raheem the Dream, we had Sam and Sam. Them are the only ones that I could choose. Oh, we had Mojo. Other than that, I can't name none other than that was from Atlanta that rap back then. Yeah. So we didn't really have nobody on the commercial level that we could look at and be like, okay, we want to be like them. We want to say music like that. We want something similar to what this is. We didn't have that. So only thing we would do was just grasp ideas from, the northern rappers or the West Coast rappers and try to emulate what they were doing and what they were saying. But we still didn't know exactly how to put songs together for radio. Nobody taught us how to do that. It was, I guess we felt like it was gonna be an organic situation where we just go in there and record and come up with something naturally. But another thing was, at that time, when Goodie Mob came together in Curtis Mayfield's studio, Me and Cujo created Goodie Mob. It was just us two. CeeLo and Gip came together with us on Goodie Mob after the Outkast Southern Playalistic album came out and went platinum. And if you go back and listen to the Southern Playalistic album, you'll know that I ain't lying to you because you'll hear the shout-outs that Big Boy was giving. He'll say Big Gip, P.A., Goodie Mob, CeeLo. He'll call them the way it was back then.
Yeah.
We were brought together by Ian Burke. And the only reason Ian Burke brought us together is because LA wanted to sign all four of us. Me and Cujo had been grinding. We had probably done close to 30 songs by the time we hooked up with Organized Noise and went over to the dungeon. Okay. We only went to the dungeon to get some tracks to complete what we already had going on. Yeah, me and Cujo, if you pull up some of the old BET footage, we rocked out on the BET spring break on stage back before Outkast, before Goodie Mob as the people know it. You know what I mean? So we was grinding, bro. We had a Walkman that was walking at that time. And I definitely would tell you this. The first rap I ever wrote under the name Goodie Mob with Cujo, one of the lyrics, I can't remember the whole verse. I wish I could, man. But I could remember I said, not from Manhattan, because Atlanta's where it's happening. Always sweating the message, testing the style, and I'm manifesting and teaching and preaching to all my people I'm speaking. I can't forget about the man on the side. Yo, Cujo, grab the microphone and go kick this hit live. Yeah. Just like that, man. So me and Joe, man, had a vision for Atlanta before Goodie Mob was the four-man group that you know, man. So when we got in the studio with them, it was competitive, but at the same time, we knew we were working as a unit, as a team. So we wanted to make sure that we brought forth the best music that could represent Atlanta at that particular time because we knew what we wanted to do. Outkast had set a standard that was so high, we wanted to follow up with something strong. Now, at that time, did LA like what we were doing? I'd probably say no, to be honest with you. He didn't because he wanted it to be sounding more like what Outkast was doing. Yeah. He was into that type sound, and that sound was working for him. But the reception that we got after we dropped that album, he fell in love with it. Yeah. I say that much. He fell in love with the process.
You answered one of the questions I want to ask you. I want to ask you how Goodie Mob was formed. You kind of put that together. How was it making Soul Food on the album? How did y'all pick the tracks? I'm pretty sure y'all had a lot. And with CeeLo coming in with his melodic hooks, I think that kind of took y'all over the top to what was going on, the cohesiveness and the consciousness that y'all was spreading. Mm-hmm. So tell me like how that was making that album and how did y'all pick the tracks and how many songs did y'all record for that album?
Man, we probably recorded an album worth of material before we even got to the songs that you all hear. Wow. So the songs that you all hear were the songs that we kind of started understanding that we got to put music together for radio. You know what I mean? Because we had a major deal at that particular time and understood that it was going to be distributed majorly. So we couldn't just go in there and just do what we wanted to do, just freestyle and be busting off with each other, man. So putting those songs together, we took L.A. the first group of songs that we did, which probably was, I would say, close to 10 songs, 8 to 10 songs that we did. And I could really remember L.A. was like, what is this? He was like, he went to Rico. I remember he pulled Rico to the side. He said, yo, Rick, these songs like 7-8 minutes long. I can't do nothing with them. Yeah. You know what I mean? What we gonna do? What we gonna do with them? And so Rick was like, Rick was our age. I'm older than Rick. I'm by a couple of weeks. We both were born in February, but I was born a little bit before he was. So the respect level was different for us than it was for Outkast. They were like little brothers to all of us. They were 4 years younger than us. So at that time, they were really young, you know. So he was able to talk to them a certain kind of way. And he could have spoken to us the same kind of way because we respected him and his vision in music and understood where he was, but he didn't. He kind of gave us a lot of leeway to come with what we came with without being forceful on us or without being too critical about what we were doing. So he didn't want to be critical because he didn't want to kind of deter our creativity. You know, he wanted us to be as creative as we could, as free as we could, because he know that's going to bring the best out of you, where you're not feeling limited to what you do. But after we did those first 8 to 10 songs, and they were so long, songs like Hold On and Blood and Snapping and Way Back in the Rise, I still remember, man.
Are those songs, did they ever get released?
They didn't. They got destroyed in the Great Flood.
So look, let me say, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to say this. Those songs were probably would have been some of the best songs ever heard. The reason I say that is Goodie Mob is not a radio type of group. You guys are a cultural group, and I'll back it up by saying this. People try to compare y'all to the Nappy Roots. Nappy Roots had big hits, you know what I'm saying, on the radio, but they weren't culturally impactful as the Goodie Mob songs. Cell Therapy, Soul Food, those in the college setting and where I was in the clubs and the parties we were going to, those songs were well more received than the Nappy Roots songs. They didn't sound good. They played in the clubs, but we was really feeling Cell Therapy. They was playing it in the bands on the football fields, you know. Doom, 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 doom. And it's just like it was a sound, it was a spirit about that music. So I would have really wanted to hear those first 10 songs that you turned in to L.A. Reid, because at the time L.A. Reid they bought the radio. Yeah. But y'all album, I don't know the commercial success the first album had as far as radio, but I know as far as the hood and what the people wanted and what Atlanta wanted, we knew everything about y'all album. Absolutely.
Those songs, it's funny, I found a tape with a lot of those songs on it recently, just going through some of my stuff in the garage, and I was like, whoa, I wanted to let the boys hear it too. I got it to the side, but I don't know if I have all.
Man, I want to hear those songs. I ain't gonna lie.
We had a big flood in the dungeon, and a lot of those reels were destroyed in the flood in the dungeon. Yeah. So that messed up a lot. That hurt bad. Cause we had some dope stuff on there. Even with the
some Outkast stuff on there too. I bet Outkast, y'all, man, that was some good stuff probably. Did y'all have Big Boy and Andre on those first 2 songs? I mean, first 10 songs? Were there any songs with them on there?
I honestly would probably say no, but it could have been. It could have been.
That's crazy.
But we actually did 10 more songs for the Still Standing album that never made it either. Because we went back into our hole where we just wanted to bust. So everybody was busting, and it was just, LA was the same thing. Okay, do y'all boys, do this? Do y'all do that? What is this? So we was like, yo, man, we just, this is where we do our music. This is just who we are, and he understood that on that second album. He finally understood that we weren't that commercially driven type of group that wanted to make records for the club. We wanted to make records for the people.
That's what y'all did.
Man, look, let me ask you, since we brought up Cell Therapy, man, like that, to me, that's one of the iconic hip hop beats. Man, how was it your first time hearing that beat? Like, what was your reaction? Like, take us to that place, your first time hearing that Cell Therapy beat.
My first time hearing that beat, I can honestly remember we had done a show at the Roxy down in Buckhead.
Okay.
And when we were in the backstage before we went on, they said, we want you to hear this, T. We want you to hear this record, man. We just cut, boys. This might be it. And I could just remember Reek playing it. And I said, oh my God. Ooh, I want to get on it. He said, we're going to the studio after we leave here. We're going. I said, I got to get on that. That's it. Play it again. Doom, 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 doom. I was like, ooh, why that thing is, it was bumping so hard.
So hard. When the scene unfold. Like, that was so hard to come on that song, man.
Move them scenes, man.
That was iconic, Trey. That give me chills thinking about that.
Me too, boy. I'm sitting here like, man, every time I'm just so grateful just to be a part of that record. Because like you say, it was so exciting to hear something. Because we had been working so hard just trying to find that one to lead off with. We had a bunch of songs, but we didn't have the one we felt like, this the one we want to lead.
That was a great introduction, man.
Yeah.
But I remember that was around the same time 97.5 first came to the city. right? When 97.5 first came to the city, and they didn't have the programming all the way right. But I remember, man, Cell Therapy just played again and again and again. That was the first time I heard it on 97.5, and I remember it would just play again, and every time they come in, so y'all knew when y'all cut that, y'all knew this the first single. Cause you know a lot of times when you do a lot of music, sometimes you undecided, on which one you gonna go with, but y'all kind of figured this the one that we gonna lead with.
We felt like that was it because like I said, we had recorded. That was actually the last song we recorded for that album.
It be like that.
That was the last one we recorded.
That's how it was with B.O.B. Project, The Adventures of
like
Bobby Ray. We got like airplanes and nothing on. You get the last minute, bro. Like them last songs. So that was like that. Man, I'm happy you here because I'm really a big fan and I'm just losing my train of thought. But what I want to say is, we had your boy Backbone on here, right? Mm-hmm. And we was having a debate on who was the best rapper out of the Dungeon family.
There you go.
How would you rank, and including yourself, what would you rank everyone in order as top to bottom, man? Like, hey, gotta ask the question, man. Who would you rank as the best rapper, second, third, fourth, fifth, all that? Like Killer Mike included, Backbone, you, Goody, Gip, Cujo. What would you rank them? I mean, I ain't trying to get you, get no one mad at you, because I ain't gonna lie. Later on, I'll talk about it later. I'll bring that up. Go ahead.
Nobody's ever done this before, but I would definitely say that the baddest rapper out of the Dungeon family is everybody.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Everybody.
Hey, man.
Everybody.
Don't let B-Rich hook you in, man.
I met with everybody.
Listen.
Don't let B-Rich hook you in, man.
I got into it, man, and I opened up a can of worms. And I said that Dre was better than Big Boy, and I really was like telling Killer Mike was better than Big Boy. And do you know, not a week later, I had to go to an event, and guess who I saw? Big Boy.
Big Boy.
And I definitely know he heard. He had like he didn't want to dap me up, but he did, and he signed.
He shouldn't have.
And he ended up signing this album for me, man. He ended up signing the you see it right there. I'm gonna get you to sign as well.
All right.
But he signed that for me, man. And he was really reluctant to sign it. I think he took offense to me saying he wasn't the best, the rapper. But I that was a great answer, man. That was a great answer. But you still need to tell me something, man.
Well, I just give you one. If I say the best to me, just to me, the best out of the Dungeon family, and that's the only reason I say this is because this person is the reason why I started rapping. And that's why I would say Cujo. Mm. And the reason why I say Cujo is because, man, we used to freestyle all night long in the car when we was in college, man. Me, him, and this dude named C.O. And I always just thought he was just so dope. Like, I didn't never think I could rap back then. I thought he was the rapper. Like, he could rap. I wanted to be a DJ. I ain't even want to rap. But my cousins and my family would like some of the stuff I say. They like, nah, you got it. So I'm like, for real? Y'all like it? So I would let Cujo hear some of the stuff I started writing, and he liked it too. Cause at first, so when I first started in college, I used to ask Cujo to write my raps for me. I would say, man, would you write this for? I don't know how to rap. I don't know how to write that. How you do that? I just think it was just so amazing that he could rap back then. So I have to give it to Joe Goody.
Cujo had an unorthodox style, but he really was saying some shit, bro. You go back and listen, he was saying some real deal big boy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yo, let me ask you this. Just speaking of the way people rank artists and they view artists, a lot of times when they talk about the Dungeon family, from fans' perspective, when I hear them talk, I don't feel like your name comes up enough. Like, do you feel like sometimes your name gets lost in the mix in some of those discussions? Like, hey, look, dog, T-Mo, I put it down too. You know what I'm saying? Do you ever feel that way when some of these discussions come up?
It don't really bother me. You know what I mean? Because I look at it like this. True Atlanta the old Atlanta know what I brought to the table. And the new kids, you know, they gonna see what I'm bringing through my new music that I'm dropping right now. That I know I'm the truth. I know I can rap, and I know what I can do. And I got, you know, the city on my shoulders on a daily basis. Everywhere I go, I'm all Atlanta. And I know I was all Atlanta when Negroes from Atlanta wasn't all Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I remember going down to the warehouse, and if you was from Atlanta and you was a rapper, they would be booing you. You know what I'm saying? I remember real Atlanta, with the way we talk, with the Southern talk, how we talk, would be up there rapping on the stage, and they'd be like, pass the mic. Pass the mic. And then somebody from New York or with a New York type of accent would be up there rapping, and they would be, yeah, just going crazy, thinking that was the sound that was more familiar to them as being a hip-hop artist. I could remember the days when I would tell people that I'm rapping, and they'd be like, what y'all... Some of these folks that blew up, that I ain't gonna call them name and put them on the front street, but some of these folks that done blown up that's from the A used to come around me and be like, what's that y'all be doing? Me and Cujo around, kaboo, kaboo. What's that? What's that? Boo, yeah, like clowning hip hop. But they ended up blowing up real big. I ain't gonna call no name, but they ended up blowing up real big, making making a name for themselves and doing it big and all that stuff. But they know when they see me, they show that love, that respect. Because they know, in their minds, they know who was around here doing this thing and repping this A-Town way before it was fashionable. You know what I mean? So I get it. You know, I get what people the commercialism of what's going on, they hear and they go with what they hear. I will say I was done unfairly on the first album. A lot of people don't know this, but artists, we always cultivate. We always like when a person making a clay sculpture, they always sculpting that clay. They always taking something off of it, to bending something, doing something. They always creating. That's how I do my raps. Okay. So when you put the clay on the table and I first create the head, some people might like it like that. But I, as an artist, say, you know what? I need to do some more detailing to it. It's not ready yet. So that's how I do with my raps. 6 songs on the first album. I had gone in and redone verses on that album. Okay. Because I wasn't personally satisfied with the way they came out. Yeah. They played a master for me, and they did not change one single verse off them 6 songs that I went back in and redid.
Well, maybe it wasn't like it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. I let it ride.
Hey, look, soul food verse. Do your soul food verse, man. Hey, I'm telling you, man. I love that verse. I just started off. We'll do it with you, man. Yeah. You remember it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, do it with us, man.
My old boy from the Point, but I'm from Southwest. And every now and then I get put to the test. But I can't be stopped because I got to come true. I ain't got no gun, but I got my crew. Ain't come for no beef because I don't eat steak. Got a plate of soul food, chicken, rice, and gravy. Not covered in too much, drinking a cup of punch. Tropical every last Thursday of the month.
And you wanted that to be done over?
That's not one of the ones.
He said that's not one of the ones.
That's not one of the ones.
Man, I remember the one you did with King Bean, when, you know, because Ron across the street, I remember you rapping about him that had the little Sesame Street beat to it, man. I love, man. Your verses was dope, bro.
Ron Reed.
But look, I know how that is, though. Just still, and I mean, everybody in this room know how that is. Just as an artist, you want to be all the way happy with it.
That's
it.
I
mean, so
that's it.
And who knows? Look, it turned out the way it turned out, and the album is a classic, and your verses are classics. But at the same time, who knows? They could not have been received as well if you changed them, or they could have been received more. You know, you just have to go with the way it was, man.
Yeah,
you gotta go with the
it.
way it was, man.
Rocked it like I rocked it. And the good thing about the way we used to do our music, man, I would do it so many different ways when we was on tour. It was just fun, just playing with the raps, you know what I'm saying? Because we had a band. We went, our first tour was with a live band, and it just gave us so much flexibility as artists to be able to just do anything we just dreamed about doing with our raps. We could do it behind the band. Because our first tour that we went on, real tour that we went on, was with us, the Fugees, and the Roots. And man,
that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Every date sold out. It was insane, man. Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? I don't want everybody out there to make sure you go and get some top of the A coffee. That's T-Mo Goody's new brand of coffee. It's out right now in the stores. You can place orders through me. Get at me through my IG. we going up.
You know what? You know a good T-Mo. We had a chance to go on tour like that with who was it? Trey. We had a band with David Banner and
Talib Kweli.
And we had the band. But listen,
it was the hip hop live tour.
One of the best moments of our lives, man. With Trey, myself, I'm pretty sure I can speak for Trey and B.O.B. We got a chance to open up for y'all, man. Y'all took us on a couple of y'all dates on tours, man. Y'all, and we was like the only new ninjas to come around and be around y'all, and y'all embraced Bob and Trey and myself like we was family, man, and that felt so good. I just remember the Asheville, North Carolina show. I still remember we was up there, man, and we was in the back room with you and CeeLo and Gip and Cujo, and it was like, damn, man, like that was like that moment for me, like, you know, we made it. And then Bob at the time had the Nothing on You song, but we was still like just in awe of the moment. Not groupie-ish, but like in awe of like, damn, bro, that's Goodie Mob. That's who I grew up to, man. That's CeeLo. That's T-Mo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we was kicking it with y'all like we belong, and that made me feel like we made it. You know what I'm saying? Remember that feeling, Trey?
I mean, I had actually met them a bunch of times.
Yeah, I'm just saying for me. Yeah, I just remember us in the thing, and you and CeeLo was chopping it up, and that was just a great feeling for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I was new.
And it still is.
Yeah,
it still is.
That's love, man. I appreciate it, and I guess one of the reasons why we were so humble at all times is because I ain't gonna lie, some artists, I just don't like calling for name because I don't want to create no issue, man, how to hurt nobody. But it was some disrespectful people, man. Disrespectful artists that I met along the way, on the way up. Like how you said we received y'all. I ain't trying to be funny. I really don't remember that, but I trust what you saying to be 100% correct, because I know that I want to make sure that every opportunity, whenever I met new people, you never know who they're gonna be tomorrow. You never know what position they may be in that may be able to help you tomorrow, or you may be able to help them tomorrow. So I always try to be good to everybody. But I can remember back in the early days of Atlanta hip-hop birth, Atlanta hip-hop rap, there used to be a convention that used to come here called Jack the Rapper.
Jack the Rapper. I remember that.
And I can remember being such a fan of hip-hop that I ain't had no pass to get up in Jack the Rapper, but I would stand in front of the fence and watch all the big-time artists come in and be like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up? I remember Tretch came, show love. What's up, Tretch? What's up, Tretch? Oh, what's up, man? What's up, show? Dap me down. I said, boy, dap down Tretch. Happy, man. Just happy. Like, that's done by nature, you know what I mean? Super happy. Then I can remember seeing Too Short, you know what I mean? He showed love. I can remember seeing Snoop Dogg and all of them. You know, they all showed love. Luke Skywalker showed love. You know, a lot of them, it was just such an exciting moment. But I can remember some of them artists out there just wasn't as, you know, cool as some of the others were. They were on some Hollywood type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I can remember one of these artists in particular came to our club. And when I say our club, me and Cujo had the privilege of going to school with these young guys that came into some real money once we graduated. Their parents or granddad died or somebody died that left them some big money. They went and bought Diamonds and Pearls. I don't know if you remember those clubs.
That club, yeah.
Yeah, that later became 112. But they bought Diamonds and Pearls, and so I never forget, they had the biggest host of the Jack the Rapper at their club. So they had like the after party of the Jack the Rapper. A lot of artists came to perform, and I remember dapping down one of these particular artists, and the handshake was super duper soft and weak. And I was always taught, when you give a person a handshake, give them a firm handshake. You ain't trying to break their wrists or break their fingers, but just firm handshake and look them in the eye. And I can remember the Joker gave me a handshake and looked off. I said, wow, that's amazing. You know, that's cool. That kind of hurt me a little bit. And it really motivated me in the same breath, because me and Cujo were performing up next. And when I tell you, we gave it to him like never before. We went so hard that night, man, so hard. Then I also had the privilege that same night of meeting Tupac.
I think I heard this story. Well, who was Skullcap?
King Bean.
Okay.
King Bean. We met King Bean that night. I mean, not met King Bean. King Bean. It was me, King Bean, Cujo, and somebody else with me. I can't remember who else was. And Tupac came upstairs, but my partner George and Carlos, they owned the club. They didn't let you smoke back then. You couldn't smoke in the club during the club hours. After the club was over, they would let us smoke in there, but they wouldn't let you do it during the club. So Pac came in there and asked us, we were all standing together. He was like, yo, man, yo. He was all happy and all energetic. Hey, yo, man, y'all got a blunt? Y'all got a blunt? And we was like, I had one, but I wasn't finna give it to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, man, he got no blunt. But Bean, he being all happy-go-lucky, because he was the one that loved Pac at the time. I ain't really like Tupac at that time. I was a big Ice Cube fan at the time. Yeah. So he was a super big Tupac fan. Oh, that's Pac. Hey, and then so we all something now. We ain't got no blunt. Nah. So he walked off, and he said, "Man, I got a blunt, and I'm finna give it to Pac. Boy, nigga, that's Pac." So he walked over to Pac. He said, "Hey, Pac, I got this blunt for you." So Pac took the blunt. He said, "Hey, man, thank you, bro. So Pac done split the blunt over, started rolling the blunt up. So back then we was smoking, I ain't gonna lie, we was smoking Reggie and Mid. You know, that's all we had.
That's all that was around.
So whatever Pac was smoking, it was super duper powerful. It was that real chronic, strong.
Yeah.
So we were like, woo, boy, that stuff smell good. God, dog, you smell how strong it is? It was like, yeah, man, I wonder what is that?
I bet you had a blunt then.
So, nah,
It's not.
you ain't lying.
I got 3 blunts. 3 blunts.
And the story was that, so when Bean was like, man, I want to hit that. So I was like, man, I'm cool on that. You know, so Bean went over there, hey, Pac, hey, I'm the one gave you that blunt, man. Can I hit it? Man, when Pac told him no, I laughed and laughed and laughed.
Come on, Pac.
He told him, man, I wish I could, man, but it's that chronic. And man, my boy Bean was just looking so hurt and distraught, man. So that was our running joke, man. Pac never let, but when I met Pac again, I told Pac about that. He was like, I did? Oh, man, my bad. He said, but it was that chronic one. I said it was.
Man, speaking of Pac, and I was going to ask you that, you know, it's always been, I think I've seen a few interviews here and there, but it's always been talk that Goodie Mob and Tupac was supposed to do some music. Like, is there some truth to that? Y'all supposed to do some music with Tupac?
100%. Well, we met him. I met him 2 ways. I met his sister here. I don't know if y'all remember this club called the Chili Pepper.
Oh yeah. My boy Cuddy Cartel used to call it the Chili Heifer. R.I.P. to Cuddy.
R.I.P. to Cuddy, man. But that was one of my spots. But I didn't go in there and do this right here, man. And, you know, she coming. You know what I'm saying? But that was my spot. Oh my goodness. I was a young whippersnapper back then.
Upstairs and downstairs.
Oh goodness gracious.
Flavors too.
Come on, anything you look at for. Boy, I used to get him out of there, man. But anyway, this particular night, this lady walked up on me, dark-skinned lady walked up on me, you know, pretty decent-looking lady. So she was like, "Yo, I'm Tupac's sister. You know, how you doing? I want to braid your hair." So I was like, I don't believe that. You know, I don't believe that you Tupac's sister. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. She said, "Look, I got the Death Row chain on. You know, I'm Tupac's sister." So I was like, okay. I just, but it was something behind my spirit that was telling me she wasn't lying. So I discredited her the first couple of times she said, but then she just kept talking about, yeah, Pac love y'all, Pac this, Pac that, Pac this, Pac that. So I was like, you know what? You say you can braid, right? So she's like, yeah, I can braid. She said, when you want me to do your hair? I said, shoot, when can you do it? She told me to come over, I think, the next day, do my hair. So when I went over there, I saw Edie. So I'm like, oh, man, this Pac's sister sure enough. You know what I mean? Like, this, she ain't lying. And so it was set. So set, man, hooked my hair up real nice, man, and that was a way that I could communicate with Pac. You know what I mean? So I would tell her to tell him I said this. So she was like, all right. We ended up running into Tupac at the, when we were on that Fugees and Roots tour, we did a show at the House of Blues. And Big John. I don't know if y'all know who Big John is. He does publishing.
Big John, the publisher. Yeah, you know Big John.
Man,
He from Denver, man. He was a DJ on
yeah,
KDKO.
Okay. That's the homie, man. So Big John was like, y'all want to meet Pop? I was like, yeah, man. He said, I got you. I'm going to take y'all over to the studio tomorrow. I said, cool. But our road manager, who was Ron Bird at the time, Ron Bird was like, look, y'all want to meet Pop? You know, we saw Pop out in the lobby that night. It's funny because that song where he rapping, dressed in fatigue, black jeans and boots, I disappeared in the crowd. I know he was talking about that moment that we ran into him out there at the Soul Train Music Awards, because that's what he had on. He had on his fatigues, and he came up to us, and he had a handful of these 5 million platinum after party. He was having a party for his 5 million platinum. So we was like, I said, man, good to meet you, Park. He said, man, y'all make sure y'all come out tonight. So we said, we going. I said, I'm going. So after our show, I went to Cool Joe room. I said, hey, Joe, I'm about to go down here, man, to the Century Center, man. They having a party. Tupac, them, man, Death Row. I'm going. So it was like, man, man, I ain't gonna fool with it tonight, man. I'm gonna say, okay, cool. I go to Gil. I say, hey, Gil, look, man, I'm finna go down here and meet Tupac, man. Y'all wanna go meet Pac. You know what I'm saying? Gil was like, him and Joy was like, man, we about to go to dinner, T. We finna go eat. We might roll by there and holler, where is it? I said, it's at the Century Club. Bird downstairs. We finna go meet him and Hank going down. Hank from Tom, Dick, and Hank. Yeah. Me and Hank and Bird finna go over here and see Pac. I think we gonna just wait and go catch him a little later. I said, all right, cool. Went over to CeeLo. I said, hey, Lo, know my dog, Lo real rough. I know rough slap crap out somebody. He real. So I'm like, I know Lo coming. I said, hey, Lo, you want to go, man? You want to go down here and meet with us, Lo? Come on, Lo, you want to go meet Pac with me? Lo was like, hey, Mo, this pretty Afrocentric chick come from behind Lo. Hey, T. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
man,
he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
He in for the night.
Yeah, he going how they business, dog. I'm finna go holler at Pac. I'm finna go meet Pac. He said, all right, man. Yeah, be careful out there, man. Shoot, boy. You know, these folk on this LA, boy, them gangs out here. I said, man, look, I don't even care. I'm going to meet him, bro. I'm going to meet Pac. I've been wanting to meet him, man. So he said, all right, cool. Me and Bird and Hank jump in the Jeep. It's freezing cold. Bird want to pull the top off. I just know we so cold. It's shaking cold, man. So when we got to the Century Center, everybody was walking this way. Everybody, like crowds of people was walking the opposite way from the Century Center. So I'm like, dang. So Bird was like, no, we're gonna go. We're gonna go, T. I don't know what they're doing. So I said, hold on, pull over, Bird. I said, hey, sister. I said, beautiful. Where y'all going? Why everybody walking this way? Oh, they just got to fight in there and broke the window in there. They just got to fight. We about to leave. It's over. Party over. So I said, damn, they finna start shooting. I said, Bird, we can go. You know, I'm good. Like, I'm letting Bird, I'm scared now. I'm like, yeah, we can go. Bird like, nah, T, we're going to go to the front. We're going to go up there and see what's going on. No, I'm not going to take that. We're going to go. I said, oh, man. I'm a little nervous now because it ain't but us three. We ain't got no squad to scrap with. You know what I mean? I got some hands, but I ain't got the hands. I can't fight against a whole gang. You know, I'm like, man, I don't know about this, Bird. I ain't got no pistol on me. I ain't got nothing, man. I'm a little nervous. So we pull up. I see a black Rolls Royce in the front and a white Rolls Royce in the front. I see Pac. He out talking. So I see Suge walk up. Man, I got Bird in the back. Bird said, hey, Suge. He holler out loud, Suge, you'll never believe who I got in the car with me. I'm like, oh, man, this man calling me out. I got T-Mo from the group Goodie Mob in here with me. He was like, oh, yeah? Tell him I love that music, man. I'm a fan. I love that music, man. They're good guys. I like them, man. I said, oh, okay. Look at them, man. Got this Suge. Got love. Yeah, like we rolling. They was like, hey, Bird. Follow the cars, man. Your Pop was like, man, y'all get behind us. We about to go to this club called the Sanctuary, man. Y'all come check us out. Come hang out, man. Come on. So I said, man, let's go, Bird. We following them. Man, these jokers did not stop. It was like we were riding with the president. They ain't stop at not one red light, and we were 30 deep on everything I love. But we weren't right behind them because all the gangsters weren't having that. They got behind Tupac and Suge and made us get behind them. So we were the last car in the caravan going toward the Sanctuary, but we ended up getting the best parking space. We end up parking directly in front of the spot. Get out, holler at Park. We showing love. Girls start surrounding us. He ain't like that. He was like, man, I want to talk, man, business with you. I want to, get in the studio and get some work done. I said, let's do it. He said, I want y'all to come through tomorrow. I said, bet, we coming. We coming. No doubt about it, we coming. We had one more show that at the House of Blues that night. The next night, I met Shaq and Dr. Dre the next night. It was beautiful. Oh, my God. I meet Dr. Dre, I'm standing there talking to Shaq. Next thing you know, somebody hit me from the side, but not like hit me trying to knock me
just
over.
messing with you right
just
quick.
messing with me. I turn around, it's Dr. Dre. I'm like, oh, this Dr. Dre. You talking about a fan, boy. I'm just like a super fan for Dr. Dre, boy. I'm like, oh, my God. I ain't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
He's showing all the love. Shaq gave us some tickets to the game. Showed us, man, y'all come out, watch us play tomorrow. We gonna set it off for y'all, put y'all some good spots. But we ended up going to the studio the next day where Big John took us to see Tupac. And it's a song called The Good Life that's circulating around. You can pull it up. And when we walked in the studio, Tupac said, Goodie Mob in here. And on that particular song, you could hear him say that at the beginning of the song. He wanted us to get on a song that night with him, and I was so ready to do it. But Gib and Cujo was just like, let's just take something and write to it. Let's write to a song, Pop. And in my spirit, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's like, I swear, man, my spirit just knew that he wasn't gonna be alive, man, that much longer. I just didn't think he was gonna be alive because he was so on fire at the time. He let us hear that Hit 'Em Up song. And I'm like, ooh, Lord, boy, this was like, boy, good gracious. I said, that man talking about hitting this man wife, doing all kind of stuff. It was hard. But then we all kind of was connecting the dots because we heard Faith on the radio that sang the day before, and she was just goo goo gaga Tupac on the radio, which was a little odd to us. That she was married to Biggie, and she was just really, ooh, Tupac, I met him, ooh, he was, ooh, and I'm just like, we were all like, dang, ain't that Biggie wife? I was like, yeah, man, oh man, that don't sound good there. And then for him to make the record like the next day, and we hear it, and it was just a lot of dots, we were connecting at that particular time that we don't know could be true, may not be true, who knows, but it just was kind of making sense what Pac was saying, for sure.
Man, I wish we could have gotten a Goodie Mob and Tupac record. And, when you're in those moments, it is easy to maybe say, hey, man, I want to write because I want to do my best. I want to make sure I come up with the best, but at the same time, the way Pac worked, it's almost like you had to take advantage of the moment because you just never know. You know what I'm saying?
You ever look at them like, man, y'all messed it up?
Man, I be looking at it like, I wish I had just got on the record, on song or whatever, because he was sitting in front of the SSL, just him and Lisa. Lisa was in there with us that night too, Left Eye. So he was just sitting in there like, let me pull some beats up, let me pull some stuff up. So he played a couple of songs. I want y'all to hear this song. So he played a bunch of little songs that ended up coming out, that were really dope. And I'm like, man, I can do it. I said, man, I want to get on something tonight. And I just remember they was like, man, T, man, just let them send us something, man. We get on it. So I do sometimes get a little upset, feeling like we should have did it, man. We should have done it. We should have done it.
Goodie Mob and Tupac.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy, man. Look, I want to ask you something else. Your brothers, they got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? The whole city, everybody proud of Outkast. But I want to ask you, what do you think Rico's reaction would have been to the news that Outkast made the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? What do you think Rico would have said?
First of all, I know he probably would have been screaming to the top of his lungs, yeah, yeah. I know, man, Rick has such great energy. So I know he'd have been yelling. He'd have been so happy, man. Tears probably been coming down his eyes. He just been happy to just feel like, you know what, we made it. Mm-hmm. Because that's how we received Outkast's flowers as us. Because that first album was like a compilation album. Everybody had their first humble beginnings and their start on that Southern Playalistic Cadillac album. Man, that was the one that really jumped it off for all of us. Big Rube, us, Sleepy Brown, man, they gave us our opportunity, man. We'll forever be grateful. And for them to just not forget about us and not overlook us and be like, you know what, we getting our flowers. Let's go do it, Dre. Let's go get our stuff. To have enough love in their hearts to be like, look, we gonna fly all y'all out here, and we got y'all hotels. Don't worry about it. Come on out.
That's all right.
Not that we can't afford to go out there and do this, but we could do that. But just the gesture meant so much to me and to us. Have tickets for us to go inside. Only thing that was messed up to me about it, it wasn't on them. But instead of them giving Outkast some tickets to where we would all sit together,
Y'all kind of spread.
they had everybody scattered around the entire facility, so we weren't actually sitting together. So I don't know if you saw it or not, but they had us spread it out so far that Dre had hit us on the text. We had a Dungeon Family group text, and he was like, when we go up on the stage, we want everybody to come up there with us because, you know, we want to do this thing just like we did the Source Awards. We want y'all standing there with us when we give our speech. Love, man. Ain't nothing but love. We gonna be there, Dre. Guaranteed. So he hit us with the text. Y'all come on down. We about to go up. Everybody like, yeah, this it, y'all. This it. We finna go. So me and Breeze ended up sitting next to each other. We sitting there chilling. They had us in some horrible seats. But it was all good because we were there. So we started making our way toward the stage. So me and Breeze ended up being on the left side of the stage. When we got to the bottom, everybody was on the right-hand side of the stage. So I said, man, let's just go, Breeze. It's cool. It's a commercial break. You can tell, like, everybody talking and moving around. You can tell it was a commercial break. So I said, let's just go. So I'm about to walk up on the stage, man, like, ho. You can't go this way. I said, huh? Well, okay. I try to walk around the front. Oh, no, you can't go that way. Y'all gonna have to go back out and around to get to the stage. I was like, outside the whole arena? He said, yeah, you got to go back outside and come back around to the back door, and they're going to let you in. Boy, stop. I said, I can't do that, man. Because I know when I go outside that door, it's going to be a trouble getting back up in here.
You know, best believe it was going to be an issue.
It's going to be an issue. So I was afraid to do that, man. I just couldn't do it. So I'm sitting there chit-chatting with the dude about it. Breeze, you know, ain't a big, tall guy. You know, like I ain't a big, tall guy. He able to just, while I'm talking, I was a diversion for him. He done shot across and made it to the other side. I look up, he on the stage with him. So I'm like, wait a minute. How did Breeze get up on the stage? He was just standing right here next to me. I'm about to go, no, you can't go. So I start cussing. Man, F y'all, man, y'all some sucker, man. I'm just cussing. I'm going off. So the lady was like, look, I'm going to take you over there. I'm going to take you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Come on, T-Mo. I'm going to take you over there. I said, thank you, baby girl. You about to give me a heart attack up in this thing, man. I said, I done flown. These boys done flew us all the way out here, got us hotel rooms. This is a part of this moment. I ain't going to be a part of it. And this man asked us to be a part of it. This some bull crap. So I get over to the side of the stage. Dre looking back for everybody to be on the stage. And he was like, looking back. And then he saw, I was just standing there on the side of the stage like, and that's when he brought me up, if you saw the award show. He was like, yo, T, no, man, what going on, man? No, they ain't gonna lock us up. Come on up here, T-Mo. No, man. So I came up on the stage, and it ended up being a moment for me at that particular time, which I didn't ask for, but ended up being something out of nothing, which I ended up segueing this thing into my album, T-Mo, Where You At? I felt like that was my last album, like the cell therapy. That's my cell therapy for my new album called T-Mo, Where You At?
T-Mo, Where You At?
And if you listen to the song, that is the beginning of I actually took that clip from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and used that as the introduction to that song into my album.
Man, that's hard, man. Everybody, make sure y'all go and get T-Mo, Where You At, man. Make sure y'all support. You say this is gonna be the last one?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I thought you had just said. Okay.
Don't let the smooth grape fool you now.
I thought I misheard. No, make sure y'all go and support T-Mo, man.
Thank you.
T-Mo, where you at, man? So look, man, we talk so much just about the history. You got any more questions? Because he rocking that Atlanta Falcons 50th.
Yeah.
That's 20. Oh, you rocking the number 20? Okay. Yeah. Whose jersey is that?
Alan Russell.
Boy, that's his. That's
Goody.
T-Mo. Yeah, you better believe that.
Give it to me straight from the Falcons, man. You know, this is in 2020. So that's why I rocked the 2020, man, because that's right when the pandemic and the pandemic and all that stuff started, man.
The pandemic.
So I like to represent, man, this 2-0, because that's my number. Born February 2nd, 1972, 02. That's on me, man. So
I thought that was the 50th.
I got that one too.
I thought that's the one you were right. That's why I said the 50th. How was that moment, man, for our Atlanta Falcons, for them to show the love that they showed to all the legends and the greats in the city who have really put this thing down for us, man?
To me, that was one of the greatest hip-hop events Atlanta has ever seen. That's what I would say. The most powerful hip-hop events. Just to be in the same area and same space is mostly all of the Atlanta rappers at that particular time. Everybody to be getting along at that particular time. Everybody happy, taking pictures, going live. Such a wonderful, warm, embraceful moment, man, to be a part of. And just to know that we definitely paid away for 90% of them jokers that was out there, man. It felt amazingly awesome. For Rico to be able to do that, to know Rico's love for the Falcons, he a true Falcon fanatic. It was electrifying, brother. It was great. A super, super awesome moment for sure.
I want to, before we move out of here, man, we're going to talk some sports, man. We kind of talked a lot of Atlanta culture, which I love. The Falcons, man. This year's Falcons, we got new coaching changes. We just drafted? What you think about everything with the Falcons? Let's see what kind of Falcon knowledge you are, man. When did you become a Falcon fan?
Well, I was blessed to have a father that was a Falcon fan, that was a medium, it was a middle class person. So we had Falcons tickets back at Fulton County Stadium. You know what I mean? So we would be out there under blankets with hot chocolate in the cold and be smelling the other people smoking marijuana up in that sucker way back then. They was doing it in the Fulton County Stadium back in the days. So I can remember those days, man, really, really vividly, man. And I began with, I'm a William Andrews fan, Lynn Kane. Steve Barkowski was, one thing I could just say about Atlanta sports is that we have had pieces to a puzzle that has never come together.
We've definitely had some pieces.
We've definitely had them that we just have not just converted to a Super Bowl win. And that's all I'm looking for my Atlanta Falcons. 1996, the Braves did it. They did it for me. They gave me the honor of being able to walk through Times Square, because we were promoting our record at that particular time, and do the and hear that sound echoing through Times Square, and look at the TVs that were in the windows with the Atlanta Braves winning against New York at that particular time. So that felt totally amazing. Just being an Atlanta artist, and for us to beat New York in the World Series, Atlanta, y'all owe us one. That's all I say. They owe us one. They owe us one. I don't know. Me looking at what we got right now as a Falcons fan, I always like to think positively, because positive thoughts yield positive results.
You gotta speak to the water, right?
But I just don't think that getting rid of the coach that we had was necessary. And that's just what I personally think. Did he make good decisions at all times? No, he did not. But is the one that we have in place, does he have a record of making good decisions or quality enough decisions to make me feel like we have an opportunity at going into post? No. That's just the way I think and the way I feel. Now, I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to still be on the team. I'm on the team. I'm ATL
we saw the
to
name
the
on the
foot.
jersey.
Yeah, I'm ATL to the foot, so I'm on the team. Do I like the choices that they made? I like them. Nah, I don't really feel like I like them too much, but it's okay if I don't like them. Only thing that makes sense right now is that them boys step up, man, to the plate and play some football this year. And that's all I want to see. I want to see the quarterback, Penix, if we gonna keep him, come out and do your job, bro, to the fullest. Come out there, focus in on what you need to do, and what needs to happen. You got legs, move around sometimes. You don't have to be a pocket passer. They think you're going to do that. They coming for you all the time. Be diverse. Mix it up a little bit. That's all I ask. Utilize the whole field. If you go back to the history and you look at how we made it to the Super Bowl, everybody, it was a team effort. They were getting the ball to everybody that year.
Yeah.
So they didn't know who to home in to. But if you're going to keep running this running back, you're going to wear this man out and he's going to end up going somewhere else going to the Super Bowl.
And he great, too.
He is awesome. The best in the league last year. Hands down. The best in the league. Just when I thought to count him out, I counted him all the way in times 2.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Let's go ahead.
Nah, go ahead.
Let's go over to the Hawks, man. What you think about the Hawks' future?
The Hawks must invest in a big man. There's no way we're going to be competitive in postseason without having somebody that's big enough down low to make sure that we can secure some of these rebounds and that can get some of these easy baskets for us. So we're going to need a big, solid dude. I'm wishing and hoping, and I know this probably not going to happen, but if it was me working in the office, I'd be trying to figure out how to get Embiid.
The only thing about Embiid,
He hurt a lot, so I wouldn't play him to the sport.
He gonna be there for 1 cup of a Powerade, a Gatorade, and then he out. He gonna be there to get 1 cup of Gatorade, and then we won't. But when he's healthy, man, the man could have been one of the great, in my opinion, one of the greatest centers that would play if he stayed healthy. But hey, if was a fifth, we know the rest of the story.
Well, I'm talking about we all be good.
We know the rest of the story.
Are you surprised about how good the Atlanta Braves are playing this year? The best at the time, I think they have the best record in baseball. Unless it's changed.
Yes, I would say yes and no. Yes, I'll be surprised because anytime an Atlanta team does well, it's surprising to me because I feel like we're marked for doom. And I don't understand why it's like that, but it seems like all Atlanta teams are, like you say, blood pressure teams. We'll build up your excitement and we'll drop you off the edge of the doggone cliff every single time. Every time you get happy, even with the Hawks, I was so excited, bucking on folks. We about to do it this year. We finna do it. Y'all think we ain't? Look at them. You know what I'm saying? We about to get it done.
So when we was up 2-1 this year, you was talking.
I was the one with the mouth. I was the one with all the energy. I had everything they wanted to hear. Everything they wanted to hear. And when they lost by 50 points, they were down by 50, man. Oh my God. I didn't want to answer my phone. I couldn't talk to nobody. I couldn't say nothing.
Embarrassing.
Do you think that's like a 28-3 moment for us that they're gonna always hold it over our head?
Absolutely. They're gonna hold that, but that's why I say it's up to the Hawks to put some pieces. They got some room right now to work with in the office where they can bring some pieces in and do some things to make some changes. It's about making the necessary changes. And to me, it's not going to get LeBron James. I don't have nothing against LeBron. Personally, I love LeBron. Like, I got pictures with LeBron, hung out with him, had dinner, kicked it. He a real cool dude. Love him to death. Him and Dwayne Wade. But I just think we need to focus on trying to rebuild one of the second youngest team in the NBA. We need to rebuild. Keep focusing on rebuilding a team that can gel together, learn each other, and possibly one day we'll have a second Kobe in place on the team because they know each other so much. They know how to play. They know what each other going to do before they do it. They catching the no-look passes. All that stuff because they gel together. They work together. But when you keep shifting these pieces in and out, it's like hard for teams to get to know each other, get to learn each other's ways. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's an energy, and it's an energy that's out there when you on the basketball team. Teamwork make the dream work. You know what I'm saying? If the team ain't all here and to where they know each other really well, they know each other during game time moments and not just in practice, it makes a difference.
Well, I mean, you can say this for the Hawks. Like, I think the trade deadline was in February. I think we traded Trey in January, and then we made the rest of the moves late in February. So you count as February, March, April. It's only 3 months playing together, like you said. So hopefully, man, this team starts to gel with a little more time. We fill the right pieces in, and we become something. I got expectations coming into this year. I didn't really have none this past year.
Come on, man.
Expectations for who?
The Hawks.
Oh, okay.
I got Hawk this upcoming year coming up. I got expectations for them to go deep in the playoffs.
Might I ask, what are those expectations?
To go deep in the playoffs.
Deep in the playoff. Yeah. Well, we gotta see what the draft gonna be like. Look, before we get up out of here, I want to ask you one last thing. You know, Atlanta, in my opinion, and you can let me know if you agree or not. Atlanta gets a bad rap when it comes to our sports fans. We get a bad rap that Atlanta doesn't have any real fans. They like to talk trash about the city, about how we don't have any real fans. We don't fill up the stadiums, whether it's the Braves, whether it's the Falcons. We don't fill up the stadiums. But my personal opinion, we got a lot of fans who love our teams, who ride for our teams. I mean, hey, we can't have nothing but a real fan with all the heartbreak we done been through, and we still around. So we have to be real fans, man. What's your opinion? What would you say to that narrative? What would you say to anybody who has that way of thinking that Atlanta doesn't have any real sports fans?
Well, they're definitely wrong, although I can understand why they may say that. Because, like I say, when a teams from Atlanta build you up and let you down, they turn me into a fair weather fan. And not a fair weather fan per se wholeheartedly, because I'm going to always love and choose Atlanta over everything. But when I go and I look at the teams and they're winning and they winning and they winning and they just don't end up doing exactly what we want them to do, like even when it comes to the Super Bowl moment, I was the loudest in the room. And when they lost and they let these boys back into it, it just make you feel like I sell them. I'm selling them. But I just talk that talk, but I really don't walk the walk. I'm a forever Falcon fan, man. But I can understand why they say that, because you're going to feel like you don't even want to deal with them no more once they keep losing. Like if they, like prime example, let's say this season, Falcons start off 0-6. How you gonna feel about rocking your jersey? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I was like, man, I'm over here thinking to myself like,
look like it really jam.
hey, because like in my mind, I instantly went to the place like we gotta come in every Monday after that and talk about it.
Yeah.
And it becomes tough. It would be very tough. You know what it would be like?
What's that?
And then we're gonna end on this. You know what it'll be like? It'll be almost like we gave them a blunt. They rolled it up. We asked them to hit it, and they said, "No, this that chronic."
What? Yeah. Full circuitry right there, boy. That was it.
Hey, T-Mo, well, look, man, we appreciate you coming through. Look, you're a friend of the show. You already know, man. Anytime you want to come back, man. If there's anything happening in the sports world, and you say, "Look, man, I need to come up here and talk about this shit." Look, man, our doors are always open, man.
And I do have those moments because during the football season, I do follow the show, and I hear what y'all saying, and I want to say some stuff so bad when I see certain things happen on the field that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Or maybe we should have done this, or should have passed it, should have run. Especially in that red zone when these cats decide they want to pass, and I don't understand why you gonna pass. You got the number one running back in the league, and you want to pass?
They run it on
you know what I'm saying? What are you doing? So those moments, I'll definitely keep in contact.
The door is open.
Thank you.
The door is open, man.
Thank you, sir.
My brother, we appreciate you, man. Listen, everybody out there, man. Everybody out there, like we always say, the Waterboyz Show. We represent Atlanta because Atlanta represents us, man. With myself, Trey, I got the great T-Mo Goody in the house. Got my partner, B-Rich. We got Staring Aaron in the building.
Hey.
And Doug, man. Shout out to T. Shout out to Terry, man. Shout out to Stiller Mike, man. Super Mario, man. Shout out to everybody, man. We appreciate y'all, man. We love y'all. And like we always say, man, the Waterboyz Show. We are out.
Kill the camera.